Hi everyone, welcome to another video. It's Ndagire here. Thanks for coming. I want to congratulate Senegal for having their first youngest elect president. Okay, he's not really the first in the continent, but he's the first in the longest time of today to be elected.
Bassirou Diomaye Faye will be the next president of Senegal. And what he's accomplished is extraordinary. This man was in jail until 10 days before the election, so he ran a successful presidential campaign in exactly 10 days. And on his 44th birthday, he was elected the youngest ever president of Senegal at just 44 years old. This looks unlikely just 2 weeks before this, and now he has to govern this country, which has taught a lesson to Africa and to the rest of the world about democracy. When President Macky Sall tried to postpone the election with 3 weeks to the election, the people of Senegal said no. And the Constitutional Court there agreed with them. When President Macky Sall tried to run for the third term, the people of Senegal said no. And their constitutional democracy stood. And I think the election of Bassirou Diomaye Faye really underscores how proud they are of that democracy and how far they have come.
It's high time for France to lift its knee off our neck and put an end to this unjust oppression. Centuries of misery, human trafficking, colonization, and neocolonization have caused immeasurable suffering. It's time to put an end to this cycle of oppression. It's high time for France to leave us alone. It's time for France to take a cue from its European neighbors and learn a valuable lesson in independence. On what grounds does France believe it can continue to impose leaders on us and make choices on our behalf? This must come to an end. And the emerging Africa, the African youth, the African elites, and the African diaspora all stand united in saying no, it cannot continue any longer. France's hypocrisy is evident and pervasive in daily life. Personally, we expect absolutely nothing from France. We desire her to cease meddling in our matters so that the people of Senegal can exercise their freedom of choice rather than being influenced by France's selection of a candidate using the tactics we are aware of. We begin by targeting individuals, adorning them with the Legion of Honor or a similar knightly rank, enlisting them in Masonic lodges, and informing them to prepare themselves as they will be next in line. Even the hypothesis that Macky Sall may not succeed, we know who is being prepared by France. This must come to an end. It will not occur in this manner any longer. Let's be clear. We have absolutely nothing against the French people. In France, both political and citizen voices are rising to hold and express the same discourse as the one I am currently presenting to you. We strongly urge France to listen to the voices that speak to it about our plan for a more collaborative, fairer, and sustainable partnership between Africa and France. It is crucial that we work together towards a future that is equitable, just, and environmentally conscious. If she listens, I believe we'll have beautiful days ahead in our collaboration together. If he doesn't know how to cut it, thinking he can continue to function like in the time of our grandfathers, this African youth no longer accepts it. France must make preparations for a definitive break and completely withdraw from Africa. Africa belongs to Africans, not France. She belongs to no one else, neither China, nor the United States, nor anyone else.
There was a lot of struggle that people had to endure, that people had to push for him to be elected. But I just like that for the first time, I'm seeing that it is possible, and the African youth are seeing that it's possible. Also, why I like this election is because the person that was supposed to be the president is not who became president. So you can see how things can really turn around in just a minute. When you have a party where you connect and know the value and know what you're all fighting for, and if you're ready and you are someone that is worth it, it will be given to you. The one that was supposed to run for presidency was Ousmane Sonko. This is what this man did. Because he was not able to be elected, the government that was in power at that time, the former government now, was putting a lot of crimes on them. They were arrested. They were putting a lot of hurdles for them not to participate. They decided to put another person to go and stand up for them so that their party has a representation. And if it's for you, it was be for you. So this elected president was not the official one that they wanted, but because they wanted the party to still have the vision that they want to see for the country, they decided to put him up to be elected. And in 10 days after leaving prison, he got elected. The blessing went to 𝗬𝗂𝗂𝗍𝗬𝗍, which I'm so happy about. And I would not say it's a mistake, I would say it's fate. There's a reason why he's the one that got elected. Probably he's the one that would do better for the country, or the one that was destined to have this position. So I'm really happy that also when he got elected, he put the one that was supposed to be president as the prime minister, who's Ousmane Sonko. And I think that shows that we are able to do things right. I mean, if you're able to have two wives and still show them to the world, it shows that he's not really a coward. He stands on his truth. Also, why there's a lot of press put onto this situation is because him being the youngest leader right now in the African continent, it comes with a lot of responsibility where all the youths in the continent are now looking up to him, because it gives us a strength that it's possible and we are able to make it if we push and fight for the truth. So he's put in a position where he has to prove that it's not only the old, worn out people that have to be in power for us to grow as a nation. We as the young generation are able to make it happen. From my experience, I never gave attention to like politics or anything regarding what's going on in the nation, because it's something that I thought it's for old people. And in our parliament, the only reason why I got to understand a little bit of what's going on in the country is when we had a young politician that came out. His name is 𝗗𝗶𝗀𝗰𝗂𝗍𝗬𝗍. He was the person that actually showed us that it is possible for you young people to participate in things going on in the country. You are able to get into parliament. You're able to go and air out your opinions. You don't have to just be there and listen to these old people that always come from a place of entitlement, quote unquote experience talks to us that they always shove in our faces, especially because I come from a country where we've had the same president since 1986. Guys, it's not okay. Like, we should not accept that to be happening in the continent. It's not fine for us to accept a person to be in power for all that time until they almost die, because it's not their monarchy, you know. It's not an inherited kind of situation that it has to be in one lineage of a family. It's not supposed to be like that. And this is something that we should learn from these colonial countries. They never accept someone to be in power for the longest times, because they know people's ideas fade, people's motives change. So if you have the same kind of leader for the longest time in a country, they get so comfortable that they don't even get to care anymore about what is going on in the countries that they are ruling. We've seen that a couple of times in the continent. Also, it takes us back to when African countries were getting independence. It was mostly the young leaders that were running those campaigns. They were the young people that were in those positions. They were the ones that were fighting to get the freedom that we got somehow. We don't fully have it, but the one that we at least got, it was the young generation. The old people, they don't want to give the young generation a chance. Look at where we are today. We are being sold every single day. Who is in leadership? We have these leaders that go in conferences and sleep literally, and doze off in conferences. Those are the leaders that we have today. That's why they are able to sell our resources, because they don't care anymore. Their time is limited. They know they are just going to go and sign and enjoy whatsoever. And if time comes and they go, they don't care. So it's us, the young generation, like we've seen Senegal do it, that we are able to do it in the other African countries. I would like to see change happen in my country and see another young leader in my country, and not have the same leader that has been, you know, with the country since 1986. Like, guys, can you imagine? I look at my country today and honestly, it's not a happy place. Also because the young youth that come out are taken down, they are imprisoned, people get missing, but it's not talked about, and people don't talk about those things because we are scared. You know, just talking about these things, it gets you scared because they do not want you to talk about these things happening in my country, Uganda. So it's a really sad situation that we are not given chance as the youth. And the same people that we have, these old people in the African continent, are the same people that came also when they were young, but they turn out to be the biggest hypocrites that sell us off every single day and still preach to us on how they are the ones that are fit to run the country. It just doesn't make sense. So I'm really loving what West Africa is doing. Other African countries in the east, in the south, in the central, in the north have to pick up from that. It's our time, the youth, now to take over. And I also like the speech that Ousmane Sonko had to put out that they are no longer interested in France interfere with their business in the country. They've seen what has been happening. Nothing has been changing. The only time these colonial countries want to interfere in African business is when they want to benefit. That's why they've been able to control us and take over everything that we have, because they pass through these puppets of leaders that we have, the old ones that are worn out, because they don't care about anything. They just care about themselves and their families. So they give them whatever they give them. They sell the things that we have, and we end up crying. So when we come out now with these leaders, the young leaders that are fighting for the continent, they do not want to see that happen. And we must support those that are fighting for the continent and for the young people, because we are the youngest majority on the planet. And we need young leaders that can do really things that are better for us as a people. It's the young that always build everything. It's the young that always have the smart ideas. It's the young that have to help the nations grow. I mean, we still need some wisdom from the old generation, but at this point in time, we are seeing what's happening in the continent, and these old people that are in governance are not doing anything better for us. So we need to really do better and choose wisely and really stick with those that come out to really do things that are better for us. Of course, it's not just about the words. We want to see what he's going to be able to do for Senegal and what is going to change in the country. And as well, he has to prove that it's not just the old, worn out with experience people that are able to rule a country and make it grow into prosperity, if I make sense. Yeah, guys, that is it for me in the video. Let me know what you think about this. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.